What is Café Mocha? Café Mocha is experts, celebrities.
What's up? This is Belle Biv DeVoe.
Yours truly, Idris Elba.
This is Fantasia.
This is In Vogue.
This is India Ari.
So much more. All from a woman's perspective.
What flavor are you, baby?
This is Café Mocha.
It's Café Mocha. This week on the show, the man that brought us R&B divas and that Luther documentary. He's got a new holiday movie. Phil Thornton talks about Unexpected Christmas along with the star of that movie, Tabitha Brown.
You know, Angelique, I was scrolling the other day and I saw that Bishop Marvin Winans, he went viral because he was criticizing a woman and her son in front of the whole entire church for donating $1,200 instead of $2,000 during a fundraiser.
You hurting me.
I'm like, I really like, they're doing this fundraiser to, of course, to raise church funds for a building that's been there for 25 years. Okay. I'm just saying. And
the building fund, we all know about the building fund.
Right. And so, you know, they're lining up and the woman was like, you know, here's my seed of, you know, $1,000 and it's another seed. And he literally was like, I didn't ask for that. And was like, wait, what? And he was like, we asked for 1,000 and 1,000. This is 1,000 and 200. I mean, literally in front of her son, in front of the whole congregation. And the woman was still grateful. She said, well, we're working on the 800. Honey, I would have took my 1,200
Thank you.
and walked right on out and wouldn't come back.
Would not come back. First of all, I just want to ask, is this legit? I mean, is it video? Is it like, is this legit?
Yeah, it's video. It's the clip. You, as a matter of fact, here, run the clip.
I, Roberta McCoy, giving faith and stand in unity with the vision of Perfecting Church of sowing this seed of $1,000 plus $235 and receiving the blessings to come to all that participated.
Now that's only $1,200.
Yes.
Y'all not listening to what I'm saying. If you have 1,000 plus 1,000.
Well, I'm going to work on the other 800.
Well, that ain't what I asked you to do.
Ooh. Okay. I mean, has he said anything? Has he apologized or responded in any way?
As of this taping, we haven't heard anything. But, you know, I think the more important thing is that people were just shocked that, you know, just by the response of him. And, you know, I know that money is tight for everybody, but $1,200 is a lot of money, especially for this woman. And, you know, and she has a child and you make her feel bad in front of the whole congregation, you know, when she probably thought that $1,200 was doing her, like, you know,
right.
It's like, that's a lot of money, people. That's a lot of money. And you gonna sit back and say that's still not enough? I mean, it kind of goes back to the other pastor. I forgot who it was that was like, lock the doors. Lock the doors. Right. Because people, it's like, you know, sometimes these pastors, and even because they're famous, they can get beyond themselves, you know? And it's like, it's, you know, to worship God is free.
Yeah.
I understand that you need money to take care of the church, to take care of the, you know, bill. His bills must be due because he was pressing that lady.
You ugly. Stop it. Stop. That is so ugly.
He must have had a note that it's a pink note. You know how you get your bills and they start coming in different
it's
colors.
White, then yellow, then pink.
When you
then
get the pink
kicked out. But I mean, seriously, this is why a lot of preachers get in trouble and get a bad reputation, because those people on the outside and those who are looking at the church going, I don't want to be a part of that. All they see is a pastor in a Rolls Royce, a pastor in a Jaguar with his hand out saying, we need money for the building fund. We need money for the trip that the kids are going to take. There's always at least two different funds that churches are taken up for. So it just makes not church. It just makes a lot of these ministers look bad. And I don't know if you ever went to church in Los Angeles, but some of those churches, I'm not going to name one in particular, but the pastor would stand up and be like, Denzel and his wife Paulette gave $10,000 today. And
You talk about West Angeles.
it's like $10,000 ain't even 1% of what Denzel made in the last blockbuster movie he did.
Okay. And don't get me wrong, I believe that, it church is a business. It has to function. I believe that pastors and bishops, they should be paid. I understand that because they're servicing their congregation. So yeah, I don't think does it have to be a Benz? It can't be a Toyota. Does it have to be a mansion? Can it be just a nice, comfortable house for him and his family? That's the part that I get. So, I just think that there's some questions when you're saying y'all been doing this building for 25 years and it's basically an eyesore in Michigan. So yeah, it's I just thought that was interesting. Hopefully he apologizes to his congregation and to that woman, because that's a lot of money and she was sincere in giving it, and to embarrass her, I just think that was uncalled for. So
amen and amen.
Amen.
Phil Thornton has a new holiday movie called Unexpected Christmas. We also talked to the star of that movie, Tabitha Brown, next on Café Mocha.
Standing in solidarity from a woman's perspective. It's Café Mocha.
It's Café Mocha with Lonnie Love, Yo-Yo, and Angelique. On the line, you know her for her soul-stirring voice, her feel-good food, and that radiant positivity that just makes everything so much better. And now she's bringing all that warmth to the big screen in a story about love, family, and the kind of Christmas magic you never saw coming. It's our girl, Miss Tabitha Brown. Hey, Tabitha.
Hey, girl. I love you.
The last time I saw you, we were at the Holly Rod Foundation Gala. You were looking fabulous.
Yes.
You and your husband, Chance, and we had just a wonderful night. It's always a warm feeling. Why do you support those types of galas and functions? And why do you think it's important to show up?
I think because it helps bring more awareness, right?
Mm-hmm.
Especially when it's something that is so special and powerful, what she's doing for, autism and Parkinson's. Like, we need more awareness and people need more help in the community. And so that's what we know, like donation driven organizations like need that, right? Because somebody else may have never heard about it. So if I show up and I post about it, and more people know, so the organization can continue to grow and help people.
And she's doing some wonderful things, Holly Robinson Pete and her husband, Rodney Pete. And we just had a good time. We was partying with everybody, with Miss Tina, Magic Johnson.
It was
and
good.
I do want to say that during the auction, Miss Tabitha Brown and her husband donated $10,000 to the Holly Rod Foundation. That was so sweet because I gave my $10 and I was like, ooh.
We put out what we will always come back, right?
Yeah.
It comes back in the form of community and love and support of others. So that's a small token of what we can do.
Well, thank you for doing that. And we are really excited because you have executive produced a new Christmas movie, or we call it holiday movie. It's called Unexpected Christmas. What can the viewers expect from this holiday film?
Girl, it is so good. It's funny. There's drama, but there's joy, there's love. There's also reconciliation, right? Because that's the thing about, Black families and holidays and getting together. Sometimes you be like, oh, Lord, who will be over there, right? Mm-hmm. And there's sometimes a little bit of drama, and sometimes we don't talk about it. Mm-hmm. But this is one of those films where it's going to show you a little piece of probably your family as well, but you're going to see, like, how they resolve things, even though it's something really crazy that is very unexpected that happens, the little twist in the film.
Yes.
But we get through it just like, most families do during the holidays.
But that's what I loved about it, because this film, when I was watching it, it's like, okay, it's going to go this way. You feeling warm and happy. And it totally takes a whole different turn. And the people that are cast in it are just, their vibe. You have Lil Rel Howery, you have my girl Reagan Gomez. And thank you for giving my Detroit homeboy, Howie Bell, which you did a lot of your scenes with.
I adore him. He's amazing. He is so funny and so talented, honey, and crazy. I love it. We had a good time cutting up together.
That's what I mean. What was the vibe like on the set doing Unexpected Christmas?
Like a family reunion. And it's crazy because a lot of us had never met before. And so that was kind of like our first time all working together or meeting. And we just all connected instantly. It was so quick that we got chemistry, especially because most of our scenes are together, me and him. And he had no idea who I was, and I loved it. And
really?
It's so funny. Honey, he had no idea. We exchanged information, and maybe like a week or two after we wrapped, he hit me. He was like, "Man, I'm in trouble." He said, "My wife, my son, everybody was like, how in the world you on the set with Tabitha Brown and you didn't know? You ain't called us?" He said, "I did not know. I was so sorry." I said, "Honey, it's all right. It's a lot of people in this world. You ain't supposed to know everybody." But he was so great. I mean, it was like my brother. It was an instant love connection of like just family and joy. So it was so much fun. We had a good time.
Howie is always stuck up in Detroit, so he don't get out much.
That's what he said. He said, I'm out there. I don't know. I'm working at late night.
Well, let's talk about your character a little bit on Unexpected Christmas. How does she fit into the story? Because you played it fabulously.
Yes, thank you. So Debbie is that cousin or that friend that's been a family friend for so long that she's family, that always got a little something to say. She's a little bit nosy. She always around. Nobody really know who she related to. She's just always there, but she always, she comes from a good place, but she also keeps it real, and she didn't want to know what's going on, even though sometimes she really already know what's happening.
I know, because there was one scene where you was like, there was a reveal that was done, and you were like, "I knew it." And
I told you.
I clocked it. I was like, that was hilarious. So
yes. Oh, thank you.
It's Café Mocha. We're on the line with Miss Tabitha Brown talking about her new movie, which she executive produced, called Unexpected Christmas. Now, what can the Unexpected Christmas, the title alone is very intriguing, but without giving away too much, let's go back. What are just one of the surprises? Just one, because it's a lot.
Oh, I can't really give the surprise, but what I can say is when you hear unexpected, we can say, it is something that we've never seen in a Christmas film, especially not with a Black holiday film.
Yes.
Between sisters, right? I think that surprise element is going to get people like excited, but also like, ooh, catch them off guard a little bit. But in the best way, because that's what kind of takes you on the journey.
That's it. That's all they need to know, because it's like it's so many levels in the movie, and I think that's what's so it's as a matter of fact, it will be nationwide in theaters November the 7th. So you guys have plenty of time to go and check it out. But I also wanted to know, when you're doing this type of film, why is it important for us, especially in the African-American community, the people of color, to have our own types of films? And what drew you to want to sign on to this type of film?
Well, for me, I think first and foremost, being able to make a project that everybody in your family can enjoy, from your children to, the teenagers, young adults, your middle age, your elderly folks. Like, you can bring the entire family, bring the grandkids with grandma, like everybody can see this, but being able to know that, it's also safe for everybody, it's enjoyable for everybody, and it brings the family closer together. I'm so big on gathering, and I'm so big on families, staying together. And if you can make a project that brings people together, it's like dinner, right? Back in the day, we used to all sit down at the table and we would eat dinner together as a family. And a lot of people only do that now during the holidays.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know what? Let's make a film that can also bring them together, and they can watch it, they can laugh, but also it starts conversations after. So, there's so many little moments in there that can be debated, like, oh, how would you have handled this? Or, what would you have said? So it creates conversation amongst the family, and that's all like healthy dialogue.
And what I really loved about it too, I have to go back to the acting. The acting was superb. And that's because the casting was great. And there are people that, sometimes in movies, you see the same people. And this is like people that we know, some people that we're familiar with. Anna Marie Horsford, we love her.
I love
awesome.
her.
Let's talk about her.
It was like a dream come true.
Oh my God, wasn't it?
Yes, for me, I was like, it was almost a pinch myself moment, growing up and watching her and being literally on set with her. The fact that when I walked on set, she was like, Tabitha, girl, I almost fainted. I said, not Miss Anna knowing who I am, okay? She was like, girl, I done tried you. Like, she started talking about recipes and everything. I literally, like, if I could have called my mama, baby, I would have, okay? I just felt so honored to work with someone who I consider to be an icon and a legend. Like, she's amazing.
It's Café Mocha talking to Tabitha Brown about her new Christmas movie, Unexpected Christmas. It opens nationwide November the 7th. Tabitha, you've done so much through business, through acting. You've done so much with your family. Did you ever think that your career would get to this point?
I always knew that one day I was going to be like famous, but I always thought it would just be like, oh, I'm going to be a famous actress. And my fame came from other things like content creation and doing business and all the things from the internet. Now I get to actually live my childhood dreams of like really doing my acting, although I've done acting, over the years, but this is my first real like film that's going to theaters like nationwide, right? I've done television and all the things, but I always imagined it would happen, but I never knew it was going to happen the way it has happened and the journey God has taken me on. I'm so grateful for the way that it happened though, because I've learned so much along the way. He has, deposited so much in me. He changed me. He made me like whole before giving me the dream that I desired as a child. And I needed that so that I could be ready for, the level that he's going to take me on and has already taken me on. So I could say yes, I always knew success and like fame was going to come, but I did not know it was going to be this way. But I'm so grateful that it is.
It is amazing if you just take the journey, what can happen.
Yeah.
I know you get this question all the time, but our listeners are mostly Black females. So I have to ask it. What advice do you give right now to females who, because, we've had a lot of females because of what's happening in administration. They may have lost their income, their jobs. Maybe they want to become entrepreneurs. Do you have any advice for them to maybe start up and maybe start their own business?
I absolutely think that let us not forget, we have always been a people that have survived, and we have always done more with less. And if you have a great idea, or if you have been forced into a new situation, like everything has purpose, right? Like God can use anything or anyone to bless us. And sometimes, we've been in jobs or we've had careers for a very long time that we may have loved, but in the back of our mind, there's always been something else we wanted to explore. Sometimes God will remove us from a situation to force us into trying that thing out, right? To pursuing that passion, pursuing that dream we've been afraid of. I say one day at a time, go for it. And I mean, what do you have to lose at this point, right? We know how to survive. But I think there's also something very special about being able to start because we were forced into it and then it became a necessity. And a lot of times the best business comes out of necessity. Like the best inventions come out of necessity. It was something that was needed. We couldn't see how to, get around in the dark. So somebody invented, a light bulb, right? We needed to get places quicker. So somebody invented, the Wright brothers invented the airplanes. Like everything comes from a necessity. The greatest inventions or businesses come from a need. So I would say, look inside of yourself and say, what do I need? And what else does the world need? And go for it.
Well, the last thing I need from you, Miss Tabitha Brown, is what is your go-to holiday dish or dessert that you just have to make every year?
Girl, even though I'm vegan, I got to make that mac and cheese. I got to make the mac and cheese. I'm going to do it. And it's vegan. It's vegan now, but I'm still going to bake it. I'm going to still do all the things that we used to do before. It's just going to be non-dairy, and it ain't going to tear up nobody's stomach. Okay? It's going to be very good. And baking ain't in my ministry, so I don't get to do desserts because nobody would come back over.
Goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, the name of the movie is called Unexpected Christmas. It opens nationwide in theaters, y'all, in theaters, November the 7th. We've been talking to one of these stars and the executive producer, Miss Tabitha Brown. Thank you for checking us out on Café Mocha, Tabitha. I'll see you at the next gala, honey.
Thank you, Lonnie. Okay, love you.
Love you too. Bye-bye.
On the way, he produced that amazing Luther Vandross documentary and the R&B Divas reality show. Producer Phil Thornton is next on Café Mocha.
We're at Café Mocha Radio. Socially savvy on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Serving up more Café Mocha on the way. Standing in solidarity from a woman's perspective. It's Café Mocha.
It's Café Mocha. On the line, he's been a day one supporter of Café Mocha. Phil Thornton has done everything from putting out gospel hits to hitting Hollywood sets. And remember that Luther Vandross documentary everybody went crazy for last year?
Yeah.
He did that. He did that. Phil's latest is Unexpected Christmas. Welcome back to Café Mocha. How are you?
What's going on? Thank you for having me. I love Café Mocha.
Well, we appreciate you, Phil, and we are so excited. We spoke to Tabitha Brown about she's executive producing, but you actually produced this Christmas film, Unexpected Christmas. What got you into this?
This is the very first film, Lonnie, out of my new venture, Three Diamonds Films. This is my baby. This is my new company, myself and Trell Woodbury, and we just wanted to tell great stories in the form of features, documentaries, but this script, Trell brought it one day he presented the script from the writer Cassandra Mann, and I was like, this is actually a really interesting story, a lot of twists and turns, but something that I felt like people would enjoy. And Tabitha's a longtime friend of Trell's, and so we, reached out to her, and she was like, yeah, I would love to be involved. So she was literally the first yes out of the cast.
I love that because when I had screened it, and it's like at the beginning, I was like, okay, first of all, you got my brother, Lil Rel Howery, and he's in it, and he's so hilarious. But there is such a twist, Angelique, that it's not your typical holiday movie. Okay. And so I love that. What was the process like working, because you've got some great people, that you've got Anna Marie Horsford in it, and of course, Tabitha. Yeah. What was that like, that whole process?
It was, it just felt like family on set. Like, I forgot that we were over that 11-day shoot. I was like, oh yeah, we're working, because it was such great positive energy. People were just laughing. We were just having a good time. And it's just the crew, the cast, everybody, it was just positive. And everyone really just was jumping in and helping in different areas. But it was super positive. But we were reminiscing on that when we saw each other at the premiere in LA a few weeks ago, like just how much fun we've had. And so it's just like everyone really came with their A game, but also just came with positive energy. So it was just great working with everyone. We're already thinking about some type of a sequel. So.
Okay. Yeah, definitely could be a sequel. I mean, Reagan Gomez is in it. Okay. My Detroit homeboy, who I didn't even know he could act. Thank you for giving him a job. Howie Bell is in it.
Yes. And Lonnie, we're pulling up in Detroit. We got a lot of activations and things we're doing because Detroit on the theater side came through in a big way. So we were doing a lot in Detroit to promote the film. So really
that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Why do you think, Phil, it's important for us, as African Americans, as Blacks, to do our own types of projects like these?
You know what? During these crazy times that we're living in, we need just to be in control of the narrative.
Preach.
And that's part of the reason why I wanted to start my own. I was tired of having to go knock on other doors to get permission and to get other people's blessings, where now this is all funded by my company.
Okay.
This is actually self-distributed by my company. And literally everything is from start to finish 3 Diamonds Films. So we're just trying to change the narrative and create a new model. So we're open to partnership and collaboration, but not at the mercy of people saying yes. So it's important more than ever for us to just take hold of our narrative, build our companies, employ people that, are talented, and, some of which, in our case, we want people to look like us.
Right.
We're big on diversity in front of the camera, but also behind the camera. So it's just more important than ever in light of everything happening during these polarizing times.
Well, you can see how important it is to pick certain projects, because the Luther documentary, Never Too Much, that you all put out, that was phenomenal. I was at Sundance, Phil, and I saw the screening there, and everyone was just taken away. Then it went on CNN, and everybody talked about it. It was just this is the type of project that I said, because I think a lot of people forgot about Luther Vandross. What was your reasoning for investing in this type of project?
The Luther project was really just a dream come true, because Luther Vandross was like the soundtrack of my childhood. I knew it was Saturday morning. I knew my mother was cleaning up or going through whatever she was going through, and then Luther was just playing in the household. But then I would get in the car with my Uncle Bubba, rest in peace. He would have it in there, his tape deck, and I was like, Luther was just everywhere I turned. So when I was at Sony Music at the time, there were a number of artists that they wanted to just, we should do a documentary or a biopic. And I was like, Luther Vandross. And they were like, oh, yeah, we've had some people inquire. And I was like, nah, let me do more than inquire. We got to move this along. This is a story that needs to be told. I'd read the biography on Luther some years ago, and I was like, man, this story needs to be told. And so grateful to Tom at Sony, Tom McKay, and I called my friends Jamie Foxx and Datari Turner. I said, would y'all want to join me on this journey? And we, it was Jamie and Datari's recommendation to bring on the amazing Don Porter. So I wanted to give credit to them. But yeah, it just became a thing, and just proud of it. And now no one knows this, but we're working on the film, the biopic.
Oh, nice.
Here first. Yeah.
Wow.
That's the next one. So there will be a Luther film in the foreseeable future.
Yes. Love it.
It's Café Mocha. We're on the line with executive producer, and Renaissance man, really, Phil Thornton. His new movie is called Unexpected Christmas, comes out November 7th. But that same weekend, you're going to be part of the HBCU First Look Film Festival. You're going to be hosting a master class for the people attending. So tell us about the film festival, and then also tell us what this master class is going to be about. Because we've been bragging about it for months, but I don't think they get it. They ain't going to get it till they show up to your class.
I'm excited. First of all, as a proud HBCU graduate, Norfolk State University, and behold the green and gold, I have to always represent my school everywhere I go. So being a graduate from an HBCU First Look just resonated with me in such a way, and to be able to pay it forward and to empower the next generation of storytellers, writers, producers, directors, and that's what it's about. I'm glad to be on the advisory committee, and I'm honored to host this masterclass this year. That I'm going to just give a few lessons and some tidbits on how people can do it themselves, because I was once that student aspiring to create film and television and documentaries, and now being in that position, I want to basically give them some wisdom. I'm even talking about some internship and some other pipeline opportunities so we got some great things in store. But I definitely it's important that we have to share, because people are just trying to figure out, how do I get into business? How do I direct? How do I can produce? Or how do I create my short? Where do I submit it? So I hope to answer a lot of questions that weekend and give people somewhat of a blueprint on how they could enter into the TV and film industry.
Phil, you've always been passionate about giving back and opening doors for others. Was there someone early in your career who did that for you, who really changed your path?
There were so many amazing people along the way. When I think of it, the journey of starting out as a young 12-year-old intern, that changed my life, and the people that opened the doors for me, like Candy Eastman, who's on the radio in Houston now, and KJ Holiday, rest in peace. There were people that instilled just certain work ethic in me, but also like, pay it forward, give back, get back to the community. It's okay. Let's go speak. It's okay to donate money. But I said a lot of those people early on, they come to mind. Candy Eastman, KJ, the gentleman Craig Davis when I was at Arrowstead, my third internship at 15, who instilled a lot of positive values. But those are some of the people that really, really encouraged me just to stay humble and just pay it forward and just give back. So that's always been something that I'm extremely intentional about, the give back, because that's why I'm here. And I never forget that. And so I feel like I'm standing on many people's shoulders and represent my community, my hometown of Norfolk, Virginia. So I just really got to find that next, Lonnie Love, the next, Angelique, the next, Yo-Yo, the next Phil Thornton that's out here just trying to figure out how do I get in entertainment. That's why it's a big deal for me with my scholarship endowment with Norfolk State, because, again, I want to not only give you the wisdom and jewels, but also if you need financial assistance, because that's also another real situation that we're dealing with now, especially with a lot of the cutbacks and things. So, the fortunate people that have been blessed and doing what we love, we just have to give back, whether it's time, relationships, resources. So it's extremely important to me just to continue that give back. That's a real, it's not just let me just do this just for the sake. No, I don't want a lot of attention. I like to just, let's just do it and let's really just pay it forward.
Right. Café Mocha Salute Them Awards, where we honor the people you know and the ones you should know, including Lynn Whitfield, Kenny Lattimore from AARP, Edna Kane Williams, the entrepreneur behind the Spice Suite, Angel Gregorio, Marseille Martin of Blackish fame, Virginia Ali, co-founder of Ben's Chili Bowl in D.C., Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, and the filmmaker who wrote Sinners, Creed, Black Panther, Ryan Coogler. Go to salutethemawards.com.
Here's your dose of espresso. Strong, hot news now.
More than 24 states are suing the Trump administration because they're about to lose SNAP benefits.
The suit claims the United States Department of Agriculture is illegally suspending funding for the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP. That program helps more than 40 million Americans buy food. The USDA says SNAP benefits will end on Saturday.
Will Kamala Harris run for president again?
When are they going to see a woman in charge in the White House?
In their lifetime, for sure.
Could it be you? Possibly. Have you made a decision yet?
No, I have not.
But you say in your book, I'm not done.
That is correct. I am not done.
And make sure you check out Tyler Perry's new movie, Finding Joy.
Look at him. He blowing kisses now. She always calling him. He don't never call her back. Are y'all dating or not? I told you we're taking it slow.
Finding Joy debuts on Amazon Prime Video next week. That's The Espresso.
This is Café Mocha. Radio from a woman's perspective.
Phil Thornton's on the line. His new movie, Unexpected Christmas, is in theaters next week. Talking to Phil Thornton, he's going to be joining us for the HBCU First Look Film Festival. He has a master class. And, as a graduate and as someone that's looking at what's happening at Yale and, Columbia and USC, Harvard, all these schools concerned about the current administration taking their money, taking their research money. I know that you and Lonnie and everybody in the Black community, and certainly everybody that went to HBCUs, you got to be concerned about money getting yanked away from schools that are already struggling.
Yeah, a lot of these schools are already under-resourced, as you mentioned, Angelique, and it's just unfortunate. But that's why I'm committed to not only give my own personal resources, but my company resources, and encouraging other, companies, executives and senior executives that are in a position to help, because so it's not even the end of 2025, and we've seen so much change. Mm-hmm. And that's why it's extremely important that I think we as a community have to come together, have to galvanize more than ever. These historically Black colleges and universities, they are here for a reason, and we need to help our youth and support. So anytime where I can give back and give money, because that's what it takes by way of scholarship, books. I mean, we all know like what it takes to get through school. Like, we have to do our part one by one, and every dollar counts, because I'm an optimistic person, and but I'm praying for the best, but it's just not getting better day by day. You know, I'm just looking at everything that's happening and just trying to stay optimistic, but more importantly, trying to do my part to help out. We got to support the youth, and it's education and help these schools that are the center of our community, but also just helping the next generation. They need the help.
Phil, I know you're optimistic. I am not. I'm just thinking back to a few years ago when Bennett College was about to fold, women's college in my own hometown, Greensboro, shout out. And the white college down the road had to save them. I mean, are we as a community really ready to step up and take care of these schools? I mean, a lot of the funding for the, whatever we call the DEI, have been taken away from corporations, or they're scared to invest in it. So I feel like it's really on us. Are we going to do it? I know you don't know. I know you going to do it, but are they going to do it?
And I know that everybody at Café Mocha is going to do it. And I think we just have to really, collectively just message it to our friends, to our network, because everybody can. It's like somebody may have $5, somebody may have $5,000 or $50,000, and that's great. But every dollar amount counts when we're trying to help these important institutions stay open. Like, it's a real commitment, and we just can't wait. But this is not the time to bend. And we, as a people, as Black people, we've been through a lot over the years. When I think about my ancestors, my grandparents, my great grandparents, and even my parents, and they were able to overcome many obstacles and adversity. So this is no different. We're just seeing it in our times and what it looks like, but we just have to stay strong, pool our resources, aka money, and our relationships, and just I believe the corporations that have did the DEI rollback, that's going to come back around in some time. But in the meantime, we as a community, because we as Black people, we spend trillions of dollars. That is not my opinion. That is documented. We have the money. We have now, just putting it in the right direction is where we have to just be the voice and just encourage our sisters and our brothers. But yes, we as a people, we spend trillions of dollars. We the ones with the fly gear. We're gonna have the most current technology. We're taking vacations. We're doing it all. But let's help our youth. Let's help our kids. Let's help our nieces and nephews. That's really should be our priority, because just looking in the other direction, this is not the time for that at all.
Producer Phil Thornton is producer of Unexpected Christmas, starring Lil Rel Howery. It's out next week. And make sure you take his masterclass at the HBCU First Look Film Festival. Go to hbcufirstlook.com.
Want a little more of our flavor? Stay right there. It's Café Mocha.
Café Mocha on the line with a true Renaissance man. He produced the Luther documentary, Never Too Much. He was a music executive working with Kirk Franklin and Marvin Sapp. His new movie is called Unexpected Christmas. We've got Phil Thornton on the line.
We recently had the passing of D'Angelo, and I was online, and there were people, saying, I hope, BET really does a great tribute to him. And I was like, y'all, do y'all realize that takes money? It's like we already got, BET announced that they're going to not do a Soul Train Awards. They're not going to do the BET Hip Hop Awards. And I don't think that the public really understood how these DEI initiatives, they're affecting everyone. They're affecting us at Café Mocha because, we got a lot of our stuff. So, going back to D'Angelo, one, did you know of him? Did you ever meet him? And is it a possibility that maybe, like you did with the Luther documentary, maybe do a D'Angelo documentary?
Yes, I definitely crossed paths with D'Angelo a few times. He's a VA brother. He's on the Richmond side. And also, I was really close with Angie Stone. Yeah. So my prayers go out to their son, Michael Jr., who not only lost his mother earlier this year, but now his father. So any way that I could be a part of honoring either one of their legacies, but D'Angelo is one of my favorite artists of all time, and not just because he's from Virginia. And ironically, we were talking about producing a potential project together, a documentary that, sometimes we kick the can down the road, y'all. And so this is one of the times where I'm like, I should have followed up. I could have followed up. And it was a topic that he was extremely passionate about. But I believe he needs to be honored. And this is the part, I hate that we have to sometimes wait to give people their flowers when they're no longer here to be able to smell them. So that's kind of but would I be honored and love to do the D'Angelo story? Yes. I know there's an amazing story to be told on D'Angelo and his life, his legacy, his impact. But I want to let the family give them some time to grieve and process. But I definitely want to reach out sooner than later, because when I saw him, just been seeing a lot of the clips online and performances and seeing, all the amazing artists that talk about his how he's impacted their lives and careers. But yeah, incredible talent, and I just hate that gone too soon.
That's sad. That's sad. Phil Thornton, new movie's coming out November 7th. It's called Unexpected Christmas. And also he's going to be part of our HBCU First Look Film Festival happening at Howard. Thank you so much for joining us. It's great to hear your voice.
Thank you for your time, Phil.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Café Mocha. And Unexpected Christmas soundtrack is streaming everywhere right now. There you go.
It's a great soundtrack too. Yes. We love you, Phil. See you at the film festival.
See you soon. Love you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Café Mocha Salute Them Awards is coming November 6th. We're honoring Ryan Coogler, who wrote Sinners, Creed, Black Panther, the co-founder of Ben's Chili Bowl in D.C., Miss Virginia Ali, from the hit series The Chi, Lynn Whitfield, Edna Kane Williams from AARP, Kenny Lattimore, our favorite Texas Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, entrepreneur and founder of the Spice Suite, Angel Gregorio, and Marseille Martin from the hit series Blackish. Go to salutethemawards.com, salutethemawards.com, and join us on Thursday, November 6th. Until next time, you can find us on all platforms at CafeMochaRadio.com. Café Mocha is a production of Miles Ahead Broadcasting in partnership with Super Radio. Executive producer Sheila Eldridge. For comments, booking, or more information, visit CafeMochaRadio.com.